Hello, everyone. My name is Marion with DTM Real Talk Channel. It's the channel that you can tune into, have the ability to listen to the thoughts of others about topics all over the world that touch every one of our lives. Everybody goes through basically the same thing. There is nothing new under the sun. So if you're going through, someone else has already been there. Maybe you can find hope. Maybe it's a pathway that can set you on the right road just by tuning in. So DTM Real Talk, just keeping it real. And if you like it, like us at the bottom, subscribe, and let us know just how we helped you. Just keeping it real. Nothing but love. Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Welcome to DTM Real Talk, and we're just keeping it real this evening. How is everybody doing out there, YouTube land? So y'all think I can hear y'all. No, I can't hear y'all. I'm just playing. And we have back with us Jeremiah. Jeremiah, say hi to the good folks out there.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all those in TV land, all those who will be listening through the audio. Good morning and welcome.
Awesome. Well, if you didn't check it out, before I get started and get all excited, y'all know how I do. I get excited. But anyway, if this is your first time chiming into DTM Real Talk, you heard my intro. Thank you. And this is a place where you can share your story so that others can see that they're not alone, that whatever they're going through, you've probably already been through it, and how God in his infinite mercy and grace have brought you to where you are. So this is what we all about it. We just keep it real, just real. People are won by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimonies, and they don't know where we've been through unless we tell them. Yeah, what we've been through unless we tell them. So anyhow, Hoot, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting the channel. And this evening, this morning, the good night, wherever you are, Sebastian is going to come back. Jeremiah Sebastian. I called you by your last name, your first name.
I have two first names.
Yes. But anywho, guys, if you didn't listen to his clip last week, go back and listen to it. He shares with us, I'm just going to give you a little bit. He shares with us how he was the only child. He is the only child. And his parents were influential in the neighborhood and where they were, and how he brought a little shame upon his parents in falling into the drug scene. And he shared how he started and all that good stuff. And and by the way, he has served our country. And thank you so much again for serving in the United States Army. And he shares that story, but he also shares the cycle that he was in, the drug cycle, the addiction cycle that he was in. And he shared how he came to his rock bottom in accepting Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior of his life. And he shared a little bit more. But tonight, this evening, this morning, he would like to share with us how amends came about, how forgiveness came about with he and his parents. But we'll go back. Jeremiah, say hi to the good folks out there.
Hey, good morning. Hi, how's everybody doing out there?
And so yes, where did we leave off last week?
I believe last session we left off with me being reintroduced to the pastors who shared the gospel with me in prison.
Exactly. So let's go there so the good folks can know that you were introduced to some pastors that led you to the Lord. Go on.
Yes, ma'am. They did. They led me to the Lord, and I gave my life to the Lord. But when I got released, I made the wrong decision and called a female and got high and, was back in my addiction, returned to being incarcerated, and didn't think I had any hope, but got reintroduced to them. They came back into the dorm I was in and showed me the love of Christ. I surrendered fully this time and asked for accountability when I got released.
Stop right there. So you knew you had shamed God, hurt
yes,
body, hurt God most of all. And so this time you really wanted accountability. Let's talk about that to the good folks out there, because I share that all the time, that it's important. If a person really knows and it really is sincere about their sin and about getting it right, about doing better, you always want some accountability, leadership. Talk about that for a second.
Oh
Why
yes, ma'am.
why is that
Most
important?
definitely. The accountability that God has blessed us with is the body of Christ. You know, as a believer, we don't go through this alone. Not only
Mm,
do we have the Lord, we have others around us. And the accountability that I needed was so I didn't make the same decision that I made before. When I got released before, I had the opportunity to make my own decisions, and
mm,
I wanted accountability for the fact that when I got released, I needed one of those pastors to be there to hold me accountable so I didn't make the same decision.
right. Right. What would you say to the person out there that um doesn't doesn't want accountability? I mean, somebody says, well, I'm my own man, I'm my own woman, I don't have to listen to anybody. What would you say to them?
I believe in that situation, I believe we become prideful. You know, we think that we can do it on our own. And I know for myself, I cannot do it on my own. My own decisions brought me the consequences and repercussions from my past before. And I can't. I have to rely on God. And God, He's going to give us people and friends and pastors and those who will walk alongside with us, who will keep us accountable, not only for ourselves, but for each other. And
Right.
I believe that the accountability is the key thing, especially walking in freedom and addiction, because as an addict, you want to isolate because you don't want people to tell you that you can't do this or you can't do that or what you should do or what you shouldn't do. And I believe that's an attack of the enemy, or a tool that the enemy uses against us.
Right, right. Thank you so much for sharing that. So go on. So go on. Let's
Yes,
go
ma'am. So
ahead.
the accountability when I got released this time, this is about 10 months later, I got released. And when I walked out of booking, the pastors were there with their car doors open to receive me. And I was so thankful for that accountability. I spent about 3 days with them in their transition house. And then they sent me on a bus ride to New Orleans to the ministry where I'm currently one of the associate pastors. But I was traveling to the ministry to the unknown, about 38-hour Greyhound bus ride. And
Uh-huh.
when I arrived at Bethel Community Baptist Church, Bethel Colony Transformation Ministry, I was feeling isolated. I was feeling alone because I didn't know anybody there. It was a
Right,
new
right,
place. And there was brothers around me though that encouraged me, and that they told me it would get better. Bethel is a 6-month program. It's an in-house treatment facility,
uh-huh,
and the foundation of everything that we do at the ministry is foundational on our relationship with Jesus Christ. Our mission statement is helping hurting people heal through relationship with Christ. So
mhm.
that's the foundation of everything. The pastors presented it to me as a Bible boot camp. That's what they presented it to me. So I
Okay,
was just ready for change. I was going to do whatever it took for in order for me to have a different way of life.
very good.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes. I like that. I like that. You were going to do whatever it took for you to change. That's
Yes, ma'am.
that's a desire. That's deep. Yeah. Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
very good. So you're at Bethel Transformation at
Yes.
this point, and everybody's you getting acclimated. Everybody's welcoming you. So, at what point did you think that you should really make amends with your parents, or better yet,
Um,
share with the good folks? Better yet, share with the good folks how were you feeling about doing that?
um, ever since I started to get in trouble, ever since I started my life or my cycle of incarceration,
Mm-hmm.
whenever I would get a clarity of thought after, the drugs would leave my system and I would have a clear train of thought, I always wanted to reach out to my parents, but in being incarcerated, they would never help me out putting money on my books. They would never answer the collect call. They just removed themselves from me. But this time, Bethel's a 6-month program. The first 30 days is a probationary period where you can't talk to anybody on the phone. You can't use the phone. You can't go to the store. It's just kind of restrictive, just to help the person in their first 30 days. But
Okay.
after 30 days, you're allowed to use the phone on the weekends, and you're allowed to make store runs, and you have a little bit more freedom. And after the 30 days, the first thing I wanted to do was reach out to my parents. It wasn't going to be a collect call. I was doing well. I was in a Christian faith-based facility. I was following the Lord. I had given my life to Christ, and I just wanted to share with them this good news. And I thought they would be not only receptive, but they would reciprocate that those feelings and emotions that I had for them back to me. When I called home, my father answered, and he acted like he didn't know who it was, and he told me to never call again. And as a person who was trying to do the right thing, was trying to follow Christ, was trying to change and transform my life, this was very disheartening. Took the wind out of my sails. I was shocked, and I didn't know what to do, and I knew that I couldn't make them change their minds. I knew I couldn't do anything to help the situation. So this was one of the first times I truly had to surrender something to God in prayer, and ask for Him to
You
move.
got to pause right there for me. I'm a
Yes,
parent too, so I'm feeling this, right?
yes, yes, yes,
So I need you to tell me if you thought, let me ask you something. Were your parents believers?
yes.
Okay. All right. So did you think at one time um, how they may have responded to you, or you just automatically felt that they would because they were believers and because you had changed?
I thought they would welcome me just like the prodigal son story. I thought they would welcome me with open arms,
Yeah,
running toward me, and I was coming back home, but
yeah.
it was not received
You didn't think about that knife that you stuck into their gut. You weren't thinking
uh,
it was still open, it was still sore. So yeah,
yeah,
I was just feeling it for them just a moment.
yes,
But
there
anyway,
was
go on.
a lot of pain and a lot of hurt there. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes. So go on. So did they hang?
So I had to surrender that to God, mending that relationship, reconciling the differences, and repairing the hurt and the pain that I've caused. I had to go to God in prayer and just surrender that, because that could have been a major hindrance on my recovery and my program if I would have held on to that, or if I would
Right.
have acted on those feelings that I had. But it was a time where I could put trust, I could put faith in God, and I went to Him in prayer because I knew He was the only one that could do it.
Absolutely.
So I didn't call again. I didn't call again for the whole 6 months period that I was in this program.
Uh-huh.
When you graduate the program, you have a little more freedom. I had access and proximity to a cell phone, and even then, I didn't reach out again. Um, I text messaged my mom probably about 6 months after that. So this has been about a year since I've called. I
Okay.
text messaged my mom on holidays. It was like Thanksgiving, her birthday, on Christmas, and this went on for about a year,
Okay.
but
Did
with
she
no
ever
response.
respond? Did she
No
ever?
response.
Okay, that was my question.
Yes, ma'am. There was no response, and
Okay.
this was even more disheartening, even more hurtful. But I understood, a
Yes.
lifetime of hurt, that I caused them wasn't going to be healed in 6 months,
Right.
and I believe that as I processed it, they wanted to see some consistency and some time of me doing the right thing,
Yeah.
because they had never experienced that before. So I continued to do it, though. I was continue my walk with Christ. I was still at the ministry, and continued to message, text message during holidays, birthdays,
Uh-huh.
and this is about another year. goes by with
Wow.
me sending out the messages and just staying consistent. And it was Thanksgiving that following year. I sent out the text message, and there was a response. She said, "We love you too," and that was it. But that was enough. That
That was
was
enough.
enough. That
That
was
was enough.
enough. Yes, ma'am. That was enough for me because 2 years of prayer, 2 years of walking with the Lord, 2 years of consistency, and sometimes you start to wonder, you start to doubt. You do doubt. You doubt if God hears you. You doubt if God's going to answer you.
Yeah.
You doubt if He's moving, if He's working, and then that's all it takes. 4 words, four
Yeah.
words in a
Yeah.
response in a text message, and your faith is multiplied. So that,
Amen. And I'm thinking here, I'm seeing her text because I'm texting, right? I'm seeing her text, right? And I'm sure that it took an awful lot for her to even do that. That that
yes,
that big sore torn open, and then
yes,
starting to come together. She, just as you had to call on the name of the Lord, and just as you had to pray and pray that God would turn their hearts and God would allow them to receive you, she had to pray too that God would allow
yes.
her to accept it.
That's right.
And
That's
she had, trust me, she was praying that God would help her to forgive you, to
I
help.
believe it was her prayers that brought me to where I am, where I was. She had been praying before that.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I'm sure she didn't know the feeling that she was going to feel, and she didn't know how to handle what she was feeling. But thank
Yes,
God that she had the grace and the strength to respond to her son, who she loves so very much. Yes.
yes, ma'am.
So go on. I'm getting excited.
So
I know again.
yes, ma'am. So then there was open line of communication from that point. Then it started to be every 2 weeks messaging, and no phone communication, just the messaging.
Right, right.
And, yes, ma'am. Then as I progressed through the ministry and started to I started to take classes and just further my walk with Christ. I was ordained as a pastor at our ministry, and being one of the associate pastors of our ministry, I have the opportunity to share on Sundays, to preach and teach on Sundays,
Very
and
good.
and one of our opportunities to join with us on service on Sundays is through the Zoom platform.
Uh-huh.
So I had the Holy Spirit gave me the unction to send her a message and give her the Zoom link to join us on Sunday when I was teaching, and she did. She came on, and my pastor is really interactive, especially with the Zoom platform audience.
Uh-huh.
And when the opening prayer and the introduction came on, and the participants for the Zoom platform were introduced, and my mom's name was on there. He just asked for her to open her mic up and just open the communication. And I spoke, and I told her I was sorry and I apologized. And this is the first time open voice
Right,
communication.
right.
So I said I was sorry, and she forgave me during church. She said, "I forgive you. I love you." And pastor asked her what she was feeling, how she responded to me being where I was now, and
Uh-huh.
she said that was her only prayer, was that I would know the Lord and to be into heaven.
Yes.
I
A,
lost it.
a
I'm
mother's prayer.
flooded.
You lost it, huh?
Yeah, it was over.
You lost it.
Yeah, man. So that was the first time we had verbal communication other than the text messages.
Uh-huh. Okay. So what about dad? So how did dad respond?
So dad slowly integrated back into back into relationship. There was text messages on a birthday,
Uh-huh.
that not too far beyond the church service, and there was response, and then call on Christmas, and which was not too far beyond his birthday. And then after about 3 or 4 months of communication and them coming on the Zoom church with us and just participating there, they invited us to come visit, whenever we travel back to Florida to come on vacation. So that was the first opportunity to see them probably in about 10 years because of my incarceration. We traveled to Florida to actually visit and spend time with the pastors who sent me out here to New Orleans. They have a vacation home that they let us use. The pastors do whenever we want to take vacation. So we went there, visited with them, and then we traveled to Frostproof to see my parents. And man, it was amazing. So we pull up in the driveway and they come out, and I go to my dad first, and we just embrace, and we cry and just hold each other. And yeah, it was amazing. And they were just so welcoming to, we skip the restoration. There's a lot in between there, but I got married to my wife who has a daughter, and they were with us, and they were just welcoming to my family, my new family. And it was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much. Guys, you got a picture of forgiveness. You got a picture of love. Jeremiah, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Is it anything? I don't even know what to say. Is it anything? Anything you'd like to say to parents out there that have wayward children that they have been praying for? Is it anything that you would like to say to them? What do you like to say to the parents? And secondly, what would you say to those who are still struggling to get forgiveness or to surrender, reach out to their parents? Number one, speak to the parents. Number two, speak to those that really are having a hard time reaching out to their parents. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. So to the parents, don't stop praying. Don't stop praying that God hears your prayers. He hears your petition. He hears your cries. That He is still there. He's working it out. He's working it for your good. And prayer is powerful. And the fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. And the prayers of my parents are what kept me. I know that my mom always prayed for me, and the prayer of my parents, I believe, was what brought me to the Lord. And from a person who I was, who completely was the prodigal, completely disgraced, and completely hurt and caused my parents so much pain, to be in that position, from a loving family to the choices that I made to the person I am today, it's only through the prayer of my parents. And I would just say to continue praying that God is able. He is able. Yes, ma'am. And to those who are out there still struggling, still trying to find your way, still in your addiction, God is able. He is able to heal you. He is able to give you a new life. I know at times it seems hopeless. I know at times it seems there's no way out, but you have a way, and His name is Jesus. All you have to do is cry out to Jesus. Yeah. All you have to do is surrender your life to Jesus, and He will take away all that pain and all that hurt, and He will give you a new life. Yes.
Thank you, Jeremiah. Folks, this is DTM Real Talk, and we're just doing what? Keeping it real. And we'll see y'all next week.
Thanks for watching DTM Real Talk. Be sure to join us for more conversation. And oh yeah, don't forget to hit that like button, share, and subscribe while you're there.